Hello, friends. It's about 9:35 at night, and I'm just getting home from what was an amazing association gathering. A gathering where I was able to share my vision and some thoughts about who we can be as the church, the future of the church, how we can be relevant, be transformative, be prophetic. And I got a chance to hear some great energy and some business. I got to hear members in discernment share their story and how they've been impacted and how they're excited about serving the church. When I was leaving that association meeting, I was leaving with such energy and joy and excitement, and I just felt so alive. As I started to drive home on my way back to my house, there became a moment in my drive where I realized I wasn't breathing. I realized that my breath was caught in my chest. I realized that my mouth was dry. Realized that I just felt tight all over my body. And I wondered, what's going on? I just had this amazing moment worshiping, this amazing moment with people. As I was leaving home to come from the church, I saw a fence with an American flag and red. I saw another sign that said, "We support the police." And it hit me that in my first call to conference ministry, I had served in a context where in my first 18 months, I had been stopped by the police 3 times. And I became aware that in this new setting, that I'm about to be in my 18th month and I hadn't been stopped by the police yet. Friends, I said yet. Not that it just hadn't happened, but just it hadn't happened yet. And I was struck by the reality that because we've been virtual and because we haven't been in person, I haven't had to fear as a Black man serving the church what it would mean to leave a glorious meeting after seeing the move of God and feeling the Spirit and be breathless about whether or not I would be safe coming home. I say that because for some of us, the racial pandemic may have ended. We see something positive. We see that the world is going in a more positive direction. More people who have been marginalized or historically minoritized are now in leadership positions that they never could have imagined. Because I could not have imagined becoming the executive conference minister of the Southern New England Conference. We may think everything is okay, but now that we're back in person, we still live in the same world that's racialized. We still in the same live in the same world where it's not safe to be exactly who God has created you to be. As I was breathless, as I was everything, I started thinking about what do I need to serve effectively? What do other minoritized leaders need? Folks who are going to be the first woman you've called, the first African American you've called, the first Asian American, Latino American, the first LGBT person, the first, what might they need? And so I just wanted to take a moment. We have one of the most diverse staffs in the United Church of Christ, and that's a gift. And it means that it is a stronger requirement that as the people of God, you cover us. You cover us in prayer. That means that when sometimes we come to a meeting and like me right now are driving home and won't get home until 9:30 at night, that maybe you end the meeting in prayer covering that conference staff or that minister or a person of color who's serving you. It also might mean that you go to your towns, to town hall, to your state legislators and say, listen, we want to have a diverse community of people who are serving. And so we want to make sure that this town, that our police, that the infrastructure makes it safe for them to do the work that God is calling them to do. It might mean that that minoritized person, that you reach out and check in on them. Did you get home safely? Not from this paternalistic, I'm trying to be the savior person, but just because they're on your mind and you know it might not be safe for the queer person who just left your setting. It might not be safe for the person of color who just left your setting. It might not be safe for the trans person who just left your setting. Friends, we can't just say we want all of God's creation and not be clear about the risk that they might be taking to serve in our settings. I want to say I'm not asking any of the churches in the Southern New England Conference or any associations to, oh gosh, well, we shouldn't invite Reverend Goodwin because it's late, or we shouldn't invite Isaac, or we shouldn't invite Alex, or we shouldn't invite Patty, or we shouldn't invite Terry, or we shouldn't invite Liz, or any of the myriad of other folks because it's, quote, dangerous. What I'm asking you is to double down on your prayer, to double down on your activism, to double down on your awareness that the work we do, we serve knowing we might be at risk in doing so. That we walk alongside you knowing we might be at risk in doing so. We give our lives to God knowing that not everybody is going to accept or be supportive or walk alongside us in the same way. And because we know it, my friends, I want you to know it. And I want it to become a part of your deliberative prayer practice. That means I want you to put Reverend Goodwin on every bulletin and keep my name there for as long as I'm serving as conference minister. I want you to put conference staff in your prayer bulletin and on the prayer list every single Sunday and leave it there permanently so that you know that we are covered. You know that this work requires that you come alongside us in prayer. When I started as conference minister and I asked that you send prayer shawls, at the time, it's just because I literally wanted to be covered in your prayers. Driving home tonight, again, breathless, not sure why my heart was beating so fast, not sure I was sweating in my car, though the air conditioning was on. I realized that your prayer shawls were also just a reminder that as I go out into the world, trying to be all that God has created me to be, and I am fellowshipping and worshiping with you, it still may not be the safest journey home. So, friends, I think we're in this walk together. I lift this up because of conference staff and those who are serving all over this country and our world. I lift this up because I want you to be informed and aware. I lift this up because it's prayer, it's action, and it's transformative change. I love you. I'm privileged and honored to serve all of our 600 churches and 25 associations. I'm excited to be with you on Sundays and to come with you and be alongside you in association meetings, even those that get out at almost 9 o'clock, because I'm excited about what's happening. I just want you to know that I need you to also be in prayer and to be thoughtful. I pray that what I shared earlier, though in my last setting, 3 times stopped by the police in 18 months, I hope that that's a testimony I never share in Southern New England, or that none of our staff or none of our pastors have to name. But it is also a possibility that it will happen. And I just want to know that we have each other's back when it does, and that you are going to be walking alongside me and everyone else who this is a possibility that it might happen to. God bless you. Thank you for hearing me. My updates with the conference minister, probably not the update you were looking for, but something that I think we need to hold, especially as we expand our spaces and we say we want to welcome new and diverse people. Just know the cost that those people might have to live and endure as well. God bless you.